what you gonna say? Yeah.
Racing in a thing.
Welcome to Car Bros Podcast, episode 10.
Yes, the big one.
The big
Car Bros Podcast X.
Yeah.
Dang.
X-Max.
Double digits.
Yep, we're there.
If you've listened to every episode,
This is a true milestone.
that's awesome.
Well, when I made the filing system, I was optimistic. I called the first one like 001.
Whoa.
We're going.
Well.
We're gonna get there someday.
One step at a time. We'll get there.
Yep. This is a big episode. This is a make or break
Yeah.
episode.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just want to say, again, thank you to all of our patrons.
Yeah.
I was going to say fans. You guys are
More than.
good, but like the patrons.
That's some next level shit.
Yeah.
People actually sending us money. That's pretty awesome.
It really helps.
It does. It does help. I mean, it's like, this is whatever. It's never going to make money,
Yes.
but
It decreases the amount of money that we lose.
yeah, the patrons take us steps closer to not losing money, because right now we pay money to make Carbros.
Yeah.
Carbros costs us money.
It's a passion project.
It is. And so it's like, whatever. But whenever people are like, I love you guys, and like, finally new content. It's
Yeah.
like, if you're that kind of fan, that, first of all, cool that like you get it that much. But at
Yeah.
the same time, if you feel that strongly and you've never given us any money, it's just like,
Pay up, sucker.
dude, like, what other place is something like, I love these movies, like, I've never paid to see one, like, doesn't love this author, never bought his book. Like, it's just funny how that goes. I mean, with that said, whatever, do your thing.
Welcome. Yeah.
Paying for things isn't for everyone. So, that's fine. If you're a communist, continue to not support us through paying.
Dirty commie, terrorist.
Yeah. I would like to open uncharacteristically by reading something from Bring a Trailer. And specifically, what was it, like episode 2 or 3?
Whatever.
This is the point
something?
where John is going to go through and find exactly.
John,
Yeah.
John, yeah, that's
I'll
right.
find the clip.
John, find the exact clip and insert it here.
We'll wait.
I'm sure these things are going to show up on like Bring a Trailer soon. Oh my God. M30.
I've always wanted
I've always wanted one.
This is the one, folks.
This is the one. The clip that you inserted 10 seconds ago was us talking about the Infiniti M30.
I think that was even episode 1.
It might have been episode 1. And we
It was
were like,
way back in the beginning.
we were like, oh yeah, Infiniti M30 convertible. And we were like, I bet it's going to show up on Bring a Trailer. Fucking later that week,
lo and behold,
one of them shows up. The only one that's ever been on there, not surprisingly, because they suck.
check the dates, folks. We're not making this up.
Yeah, there's one on there, 28,000 mile, like maroon on white
The one.
M30 convertible. So yeah, whatever, lame car.
As
But I
seen.
just
Speak for your goddamn
Yeah.
self.
I just wanted to read to you one of the comments. Quintessential.
One of
Bring
the
a Trailer.
fluffers, you mean?
Bring a Trailer fodder. Yeah, one of the fluffers that comes out and sucks potential bidders' dick.
keeps them hard. Keeps them going.
This is a comment from Roadmaster.
Ooh.
Who, I'm just going to give you a little spoiler alert, didn't bid on the car. August 7th at 11:06 a.m. This is shockingly appealing. Keep in mind, he's talking about an Infiniti M30 convertible, and I'll have John put an image up.
Yeah.
This is the point where John spent some time and
Here's the car.
Put some effort in.
This is shockingly appealing. The styling is simple and elegant, not boring, which I'm sure someone in the comments was like, this is a boring fucking car. So this guy's like clapping back. The interior looks world-class comfortable, and the VG30 is smooth, torquey, and reliable. And then, parentheses, had one in my 85 Maxima back in the day. Nice. In fact, this conjures visions of cruising California 1 through Big Sur, recently reopened, by the way, top down, in those sumptuous seats, mesmerized by the shimmering Pacific, the warm, salt-tinged ocean breeze, the purring VG30, and my beautiful wife's blonde locks flowing in the breeze. Life is rarely better.
Jesus.
Fuck you.
Fucking Christ.
I'm convinced that's a joke.
That guy's like borderline like romance novelist.
He's talking about one of the lamest.
I know, but
cars.
that's what makes me think it might.
I don't know, man.
He's either the funniest or the lamest person ever.
Okay. The next comment.
Just remember, at some point later, we'll talk about Christ-like cruising.
Okay.
Just remember.
Yeah, put that on the list.
Put a tab on that.
The next comment is my sentiments exactly. I had an 87 Maxima that easily crested 100 miles per hour.
Ooh.
I'd always said it was the smoothest running V6 I'd ever seen. Might still be. Dude. What?
Yeah, have you not driven a
Have you driven another car ever? Since your 87 Maxima?
Have you ever driven a different...
People do this weird thing where they like talk about old cars like that, or it's like, man, they've never made another car like the
87.
Yeah. I mean, Nissan
John,
might
this
have
is the point where John finds a picture of an 87.
Maxima.
This one's going to be heavily laden with John labor. But it's just like they'll talk about stuff like, man, they really just like, there's never been a car that smooth. It's like, well, have you driven a new anything?
Have you driven an 02 Maxima?
Yeah, because like that thing will blow that 87 out. Like, go drive an 87 Maxima. It's fine.
You can go see several in the junkyard.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure they've made cars since then that can easily crest 100 miles an hour.
It's not that
Isn't that like the
achievement.
bare minimum of like what a car?
What car won't?
Maybe like a Beetle.
Man. So we've kicked around the idea, and like we're probably not going to do this,
Or
but I'm
maybe
gonna
we
run
will.
it past you anyways. But like, what do you think about a podcast episode where we just look at Bring a Trailer and make fun of people's cars?
Full 45 minutes.
Bonus.
Yeah, just a little like bonus.
What a sweet idea. I don't know if we would ever do this, but if someone, I mean, I don't care if somebody else does this, but are you familiar with the show Drunk History? I'm sure you
Yeah,
are.
I've seen it once or twice.
You know, it's where they go and actually interview like an actual historian who knows like a lot about a topic, but they get them drunk and then they just record the audio of this person talking about it, and then professional actors like act it out. So it's the original audio, but then the actors kind of lip sync it out. But it would be funny to take like Bring a Trailer comments like that and then like do like really bad reenactments of like
Use puppet marionettes.
Yeah, that'd be pretty sweet. Well, last thing about this auction, 11/19, $6,100 bid placed, and then an hour later, this guy comments, "There is no way it sells for this cheap. Has to do over $10,000." And then 20 minutes later, it ended. Shocker.
So it sold for that cheap.
For that cheap. Yeah. That guy didn't fucking bid.
Nope.
Mr. $10,000. Dude, it's ending.
Yeah.
Oh, dude.
Grab it.
Yeah.
Should have fucking called
That's
him out.
$4,000.
Dude,
less
bid 8.
That's $4,000 less than your
Bid 8,000. You can get it.
Yeah.
It's ending for shockingly cheap.
Yeah, get it.
There's no way. Get
You could easily flip that. Yeah.
douchebag.
You can just buy it and put it right
it.
back on Bring a Trailer.
All you have to do is bid 62. There's no way.
It's yours.
Shocking. God.
So I've never actually gone to the site, but can you see like the full bid history?
If you scroll
pretty
through,
much, yeah.
you can't.
That's
just,
actually,
click
well,
on it.
it's nice that they do that just so you can make fun of it more. You can like see the bids.
It's great for us.
Yeah. And the timestamps of the comments. Yeah.
I mean, this website has provided about half of the podcast content.
That's true.
So I'm a big fan.
We probably just started the podcast
fan
just
of
so
what
you
they're
guys
doing.
can talk about
I think we need a spin-off podcast that's solely Bring a Trailer topic, because they just keep coming back.
Collector car market with the car bros.
The nice thing, I mean, there are nice things about buying a car on here. Not that I look anymore.
Ever.
Yeah, very rarely. And it has done good things.
Only twice a day.
Good things for my happiness by not looking at this site. But you can get a car. You know what you're going to get when you buy a used car and bring a trailer. That's probably you kind of do. I'm sure you still get stuff.
To an extent.
Yeah, I'm sure you still get stuff where it's like, fuck.
But as far as buying a car sight unseen, that's about it.
This is about as good as it gets because, and I bring this up because it's like, it is so rare to buy a car that is used more than like 10 years old where there's not something you later find where it's like, damn it.
Yep.
They didn't mention this. It's like both of the cars I own, the M5, an 03 M5 and a 99 4Runner. And I have to believe no one new is listening to this podcast. I just don't think we're gaining listeners.
Yeah.
I think we got a group of listeners. And that's
25.
We lose a couple every week, but we're not gaining any new ones. So I don't think that was new information for anyone. Anyways, both those cars, the 4Runner I bought, actually because I saw one on Bring a Trailer, and it was super low mileage, and it went for like 20 grand. And all the comments were like that kind of like
Fluff.
just fluff. And I was like, shit, these are going to go up. These are going to get really popular. And I saw a really original owner, clean one. I was like, I better go get this. And I did. But in the ad, it was like, no original owner, no accidents ever. And I was like, sweet. And it looked clean. You know, it looked kind of like bunch of rock chips and stuff, but it's like, yeah, original owner of a car that wasn't that special. They drove it, but it was garaged in excellent condition considering. And so I get there and we're looking at it, and like we come around to the back and I'm like, there's fucking Bondo on the like, what's this? And he's like, oh, like my dad backed into like a pole in the garage, and like he just like kind of fixed it himself. I'm like, yeah, that's called a fucking accident. You moron. Like, it wasn't even repaired well. I spotted it just like naked eye. I was like, what the fuck is this? Oh, well, that. Like,
Ignore that, yeah.
And then the front, like the trim on like the front fender was missing. It's painted from the factory. Right. This is just like black, unpainted. And he's like, oh, that. Like, I kind of like swiped my mom's car parking. It's like, these are accidents. These are actual accidents. Like, I don't know what your definition
just
of
because you didn't go through insurance or something. Yeah,
yeah, just
there's no record on the Carfax.
Just because you didn't properly fix it. Maybe that.
That actually reminds me that I swear to God, this was a long time ago. I'm pretty sure I sent it to you guys though. There was like, it's like, you know, obviously I'm always looking at Craigslist or whatever.
Yes.
And it was like, I can't remember. I think it was like something dumb, like an Altima or an Accord. And the car was just fucking like blasted in the front end. I mean, like the car was like seriously damaged, and the guy was like, "Clean title." Yeah, and it was like, "Yeah, clean title because you haven't fucking reported the like
because you hit and run while you were drunk,
like something
hit a fire hydrant
in the car,
and
like
drove home,
pretty like had like frame damage, and, and like in the ad it was like clean title."
Yeah, that's how this. It's just like these are accidents. It's just like people are so dumb. No accidents ever. Like, what is an accident?
No accident has ever been reported on this car because I haven't reported this heavy front end collision.
That's pretty much what both of these instances. No accidents reported. Like, you think I give a shit? No accident.
It'd be funny if someone like bought that thing, that Accord or whatever, and then like, I'm going to repair this thing hard, but not. It'll be a clean title.
That's what they're looking for. Oh, okay. All right. The other one's the M5. It was like, I mean, I'm so careful when I look at a car now because of both of these. And I thought I was good at looking at them when I mean, the 4Runner I caught, and it was just like, fine.
Dealt
like,
with it.
You're just a jerk, but I'll just kind of use it.
I'll still give you money.
I'm still going to buy it. The M5, it wasn't until I took it to my friend is like one of the head mechanics at a BMW dealership. I was like, I'll give it to him to like look at, even though I'd already had an inspection done.
After you bought it?
After I bought it. I had a pre-purchase inspection done, and the mechanic at whatever dealership was like, yeah, it's really clean. Yeah. And then I took it to my friend because he would like he used to own one. Mm-hmm. And so he's like, it's good. He's like, you know, the trunk's been repainted though. He's like, you can tell the finish is different. I was like, ugh. God. And it's like, yeah, he's right. It's like, once you can spot, it's like, yeah, that finish is way different than the rest of the car. And I was
then
like,
you just see it every time you
and
look
you
at
see
it after that.
every time. And I was looking at the hood. The hood's been repainted. The same thing. Probably both because they have the same finish. It's like, it's fine paint.
Yeah.
They did a decent job, but it's like, it's not on the Carfax.
Yeah.
Both the hood and the trunk have not been unbolted, the original bolt. So it's like, what is the story?
Yeah.
Like, what? And it's just like the owner, either they don't know because he was the second owner,
right.
which I kind of doubt, but like, whatever. Or they're just sitting there like, God, I hope he doesn't notice.
That's the weird, I mean, or the good thing, I guess, about bringing a trailer.
That's what I mean.
It's like there's always someone like, oh, I can tell. But sometimes they don't fucking know.
So,
but
and
a
it's
lot
like,
of times
how are they going to know?
Yeah.
You know,
I
but
look
it's
at this
like,
picture differently than you
yeah,
did.
but that's the thing. That is like, circling back. That's the nice part about bringing trailers. People are just vicious.
Yeah.
They're like, there's like a wrinkle. You know, they'll see stuff where it's like, I promise you I'm the original owner.
Yeah.
There's nothing there. But
Yeah.
it's like, they pride themselves because it's like points. You get points if you spot something.
Yeah.
You're like, oh yeah. But it's like, they go nuts on that stuff to the point where it's like, dude, lay off.
It's a $12,000 car.
Yeah, or they'll be like, oh, what's the deal with like the shift boot? Damn it! Like, how was it driven? I mean, they'll kind of assume stuff. Like, there's an S2000 on there, and it was just like, I mean, to be fair, it looked like it had been modded.
Right.
And then taken back to stock. But people are just shredding it. It's like, oh, it's another, like, just abused. It's like, you don't know. You don't know. This poor seller is just, like, listing his car. It's like, this thing probably it was probably slammed. It was probably, like, just beaten. And now they're putting it on a bringing trailer. It's like, that's a pretty big leap. Like, call out what you see.
Right.
But, like,
let me put some backstory to
you know,
this.
let me add some context that may or may
But
not.
actually, that actually reminds me that it is kind of funny. I guess you can only do it on some cars, but like a modded car that's put back to stock.
Yeah.
It's like probably the worst car to buy.
That's like, modded is bad, but like previously modded is even worse. It's like,
you don't even get the aftermarket.
Yeah.
parts.
It's like she's got like bruises on her face and she has makeup on. It's like, oh no, what's going on at home? I mean,
Everything's fine.
Yeah, you don't even know. I wish like. Can you imagine if there was some way to view the whole history of a car? Like when you buy a car that's 20 years old, that thing has had 20 years of somebody driving it.
Yeah.
Like someone has just sat in traffic. Like if it's of any decent size, people have like probably fucked in it. You know, it's just
They
like
may have shit themselves in it.
people have just like taking dumps in it. Like their drunk friend puke. It's just like the amount of history in a car.
Yeah.
20 years is one thing. You buy something from the 70s.
Oh, yeah.
It's like,
Oh, yeah.
man. I saw something that was like the super clean Celica. Some thread on like Reddit or something. It's like, check out the Celica, like crazy barn find. It's been sitting since 84. It was like
a 70s one.
Yeah, a 70s one. Which are like kind of neat.
Yeah.
It was like mini, kind of like Camaro-y
Right.
looking things. And I was like, damn, that car had a whole history, and then it sat for longer than I've been alive.
Yeah.
Part of its history is just sitting. And then it had a whole life before it sat. It's like the history of them, and you just don't know. You get it. And it's like, the older the car, just the more...
In a way, almost the older cars
stories.
are better because like so much of the shit is like rotted away.
Yeah.
So it's not like, oh, these seats were fucked in. Like like the seats have been like
Replaced.
rotted.
Yeah.
But if it's something that's like 10, 12 years old, you can like still see
Some
like
dude's old Accord. It's like, man, how many like breakups and arguments are
how many
in here?
blunts were smoked.
And just like how many like Caesar salads were dropped into the, you know, just crazy spills and stories and stuff. But that's why when you get a car that's kind of old, like there is some stuff on Bring a Trailer that looks that way at least, where it's like, this car just had a boring, nothing, no story.
Right.
That's so rare.
Yeah.
Because I have not, and maybe it's because I'm just unlucky or whatever, but every car that I've either bought or helped someone buy, like I'm looking at what's the most reliable car I can get for like $4,000, and you end up with like a 90s Accord.
Yeah.
You just find something where it's like, oh, dang, this hood's been repaint it or something. It's just
Yeah.
like, damn it. There's always some story.
It's never perfect.
It's never perfect.
That's why you just got to buy a new car, Brent.
Yeah. And then trade it in 6 months later.
There's something.
That's how you do it.
There's something.
That's how you
in
beat
your
the
car.
system.
Yeah. Or when someone, like the tragic one is when someone has, they do have a no stories car where it's just like, this is, if you want this thing, this is it. But it's like a lame car. It's like, that's so cool you have that, but like no one wants it.
C4 Corvette.
C4 Corvette is a solid one. It's just like, I've got the cleanest.
Yeah, the other day I went to this restaurant and it was like kind of an old school way where you like, I'm trying to sell my car, so I'm gonna put this paper with the photo on like the window,
The community bulletin
next to
board
the door,
or
and
whatever. Yeah.
And it like caught my eye, and it was like 91 or 90, like vet, like maroon color, like, and it's like 25,000 original miles, one owner, and it was like 8,900 or best offer, and it's like.
Please.
The car is like super nice. I mean,
Super nice. And
it's
it's
like-
probably a no stories car.
yeah, and it's like that. I mean, like I almost like felt sorry for like that car is fucking worthless, and then like NSX, like
Yeah, there's
what?
certain ones, yeah.
like a car that was like probably about the same price as
Yeah.
an NSX.
Yeah, or around there.
Yeah.
And is just like, he cherished it,
Yeah, yeah.
and now he like can't.
Now the car's
He
like
chose poorly.
he might be able to get like 7 for it.
Maybe. And like, who's gonna buy it? Is there another C4 vet owner? Every time C4
You should,
is like,
you should call that guy and tell him to put it on Bring a Trailer.
I don't know. I don't
that's
know. Bring a
that's a
trailer.
pretty like non-trendy.
They're just not cool yet. It's weird. Some cars, like, as they get older, you're like, dang, are those gonna? Like, you're kind of waiting. It's like C4 Vet's a good one.
C4
It's like,
owners have been waiting a long time.
yeah, C4, it's like, oh, are they gonna? And like ZR1, C4 ZR1,
Yeah.
which like, if you,
That's the one.
I feel like some people may not even know there was a ZR1.
Yeah.
Like most people probably
And they're
know,
fucking
like,
double
there
overhead
was.
cam.
Dual
Yamaha.
overhead cam, really cool.
Or not Yamaha. What was it? Mercury Marine.
Oh yeah.
Did the like heads or whatever.
Wasn't it someone else? They did like the whole motor.
Yeah.
Or some.
LT,
It's a pretty special
LT4
car.
or whatever it is. No,
Yeah. I can't remember.
Someone
That
will
might
correct
have been-
us.
Whatever
Yeah.
it is. Who cares? It's not worth knowing about. Like, it's just worthless information. But like, they are really cool cars
Yeah.
in a lot of ways. By a lot of
Yeah.
aspects, they're extremely cool. And it's like, you can see it and it's like, "Arr." And it's like, I've thought a few times, like, are those gonna?
I think the thing is C4s are like cool looking, and they're probably gonna like be seen as cooler looking, but like mechanically they just kind of suck.
They're just, how are they at all better than a C5?
It would just be if you like the look. I guess
If you just like a boxier,
yeah, more 80s
a
specific.
slightly
like-
boxier,
It looks thinner. Like it just
they're okay.
I
The
think
C5 to me just kills
it
that
totally
thing.
dominates it.
And it's like, as they get older, they're both going to be old.
Right.
It's
Yeah.
not like,
a
oh, this
C5
one's
is
slightly
new.
older.
Right.
Yeah. C5, I think, will.
Yeah.
If they haven't already started going up, I think they will. Because that look is just iconic.
yeah.
Yeah.
They
That's
just
that's like still what people picture when you say like Corvette.
Yeah.
For most people, unless you're like born in the 40s or something.
C5 Corvette is just, that is a great looking car. Probably the best in my.
Except
kind
for
of-
like the interior.
Except the interior is just dog shit.
Yeah. Yeah.
Awful. Just bad. It's like C6 was a big improvement
Yeah.
interior wise. And even those, the interior is like,
Yeah.
it's
Oh,
going to
yeah.
suck inside. And
Oh,
C5's like even worse.
Yeah.
It's like they're bad.
Yeah.
But what a beautiful design.
Mm-hmm.
C5 Z06. It's like, even that notchback, like that. I like it because it's quirky.
Yeah.
But it's like the coupe looks better.
Right.
Yeah.
But like, damn, a friend of mine has a white C5 non-Z06, but supercharged.
The coupe, the
It's a coupe.
fastback, whatever.
Yeah, the fat,
Yeah.
the like whatever,
Right, sleek.
normal,
Yeah.
cool looking
Yeah.
one. And it's white on like burgundy leather
Yeah.
or whatever. It's just like, fuck, that is
Yeah.
a hot car. Every time I
Yeah.
see it, it's like, that is so good.
Although I think if you change the steering wheel, it helps a lot. I mean, visually it helps.
so
Like
the-
just like getting rid
the
of that
seats
big.
are kind of ghetto.
It's like 90s steering wheels are fucking
know.
bad
Yeah.
looking.
I think it was like Speaking of that, like 90s steering wheels are like super chunky because it's like, okay, airbags, you have to have
Yeah,
them.
let's build around it somehow.
Oh, shit,
we
how
had
do
to
we fit this in
we
here?
need to have this kind of square shaped thing.
Yeah, but it's like, what is it, like 91? They didn't have airbags,
Yeah.
and you can put like a nardy,
Right.
like a wood, whatever steering wheel in kind of a modern car.
Right.
And
I mean,
it's
you
like,
can still do it on the old ones. You just have to get rid of your airbag.
well, but that's illegal, isn't it? You can't remove an airbag.
I don't know if. Well, I don't know if I don't think it's illegal on your own car.
I'm pretty sure it is. You can't remove. I'm pretty
Well, I mean,
sure.
tons of people fucking do it. People do it on like almost new cars.
Sure. Yeah, you can.
I mean, like I think like as a mechanic, you probably like you're not allowed to like. Well, we remove airbag, but I don't think there's anything like.
Really? I don't know. I feel like that'd be like. I don't know. I guess I don't know what law that would violate.
I mean, obviously a manufacturer couldn't do it, or like I say, I don't think a licensed mechanic could.
Yeah.
Fuck with it, but I'm pretty sure if it's your own, just like how people like
Someone comment.
people with Jeeps do like super dangerous shit to their cars all the time.
Yeah, that's true. They
take the
Yeah, they
remove,
take they take the doors
they
off.
remove like pedestrian bumper supports and stuff.
They put like winches and fucking. other weird stuff.
That is a good point. Yeah. Please comment. Reading, digging deep.
Yep.
And let's be honest, it's usually Carl.
Yeah.
Comes
Carl,
through.
you're gonna have to.
Carl Bernstein.
Hit us
Hit
up.
us up. Yeah, he's like a few times we've like called out. He's like, all right, here
I'm
it
still
is.
here, guys.
There's a couple people that leave like pretty detailed stuff. It's like, oh, sweet. And, like reading them and like learning stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What was I talking about? Oh yeah, cars that like you hope. Here's a prediction: Fox Body Mustang. They're gonna hit a point soon. Because it's like all those cars
Where they
I've
go
noticed a
up or
trend
down?
Where they go up.
I don't think so.
Because there's all these cars where it's like there's just so many of them.
Yeah. That's kind of one of them.
That's I think that's what 510. That's what Datsun's where it's like, dude, there's just so many, they're never going to be worth anything.
Yeah.
And then you finally hit a point where it's like, wow,
A lot of people
went
want
through
these.
a million of them.
Right.
You destroyed so many of them.
Yep.
So many of them. That's why my Forerunner's going up because like they made so many of them. And you still kind of can. You can just find them for like $2,500. And if you want a just reliable truck, get one.
Yeah.
Because even if it has 200,000 miles, like it still has 200,000 more miles in it. But if you want a nice one, those are getting expensive because they made so many of them.
Yeah.
But so many of them were just beat to shit.
Right.
It's like eventually, and I think Fox Body's going to be like that.
I don't think so.
First, it'll be the Cobras because those are actually kind of cool.
Those
like
are already
Fox
expensive.
Body
Those are
Cobra.
already a lot.
But Fox bodies aren't like, you know, a Toyota's reliable. It's built to last, whereas a Fox body, like
They're pretty reliable. Fox Body.
They're
they
very,
don't take
they're,
up.
they're, very,
have
they're very simple.
they might be,
Yeah.
but they haven't been well maintained. Like it's rare
That's
to
what I
see.
mean.
It's rare to see a good one.
Exactly, a
Yeah.
good one. Because for a while you could get a good one for like $4.
Yeah.
So you want a nice one, $5. I think the good ones are going to start
Maybe
going up.
I know like IROC Camaros have started to
Have they?
like the
head
'80s
that way,
ones.
Yeah.
Because a Fox Body's still a cool car. A fuel injected one. It's like they're cool. They're so simple.
Yeah.
It's like what 80. I mean, really, like 70 through like 03.
79 to 04.
Is like the same thing. And it's like the Fox Body to me was because everything after the Fox Body was like polishing a turd.
Yeah.
And the Fox Body was just like, this is it. This is the most honest one.
Yeah.
It's before your body has like gotten to the turd.
It's just like, here, what's the simplest body we can put on a Mustang frame?
Yeah.
It's like, here, they designed that thing with like a T-square. It's like, burp, burp. It's like,
Yeah.
they designed it on like a calculator. But they're so honest and they're fun as shit to
Yeah.
drive in an old school way.
Yeah.
Like I like the other Mustangs, the 90s one, the SN95 and the New Edge or whatever. Especially the 03 Cobra. I might get one of those. I keep coming back to them.
Terminator.
The Terminator. That's a car that's definitely going to go up. Those are just like quintessential 90s,
It's
2000
like it's like the
cool
it's like the Hellcat of 15
of
years
its
ago.
day. Yeah. They're just, but they drive like a Fox Body.
Yeah.
I remember
They drive like a Fox Body with 400 horsepower.
yeah, those things are cool. They were. I thought they were cool when they came out, and
Yeah.
now they're still cool, and now they're becoming like old cool.
That was like the first affordable American car that was like, oh fuck, like this thing is like fucking fat. Like,
Yeah,
I guess there was like vets before that were really famous.
Yeah, but that, like we were talking about however long ago we were saying like the WRX was the first like car to come back. It's like it was the WRX in 03, but it was also that Cobra.
Yeah.
Because they were both 03. And I remember it was like, that thing was a big deal.
Yeah.
It's like, fuck, this thing is
What was the
sweet.
Cobra? Was that the Cobra that like you had to have a certain type of license to buy it?
No, that's the Cobra R.
Oh, yeah.
That was the...
that was like a super limited
5.4
production.
or something. It had the like Triton motor, which is cool car.
But it's like you needed like a racing. I
think you might have had to have an SCCA license
or something like that. Yeah, to buy it.
That was kind of neat.
Yeah.
That was a cool car, and those are still cool. But 03 Cobra is just like, hey, do you want to like fuck around, like street race, and like do way illegal stuff?
Do you want to change a pulley?
Yeah, it was like that thing was badass, and like the whole development of that car.
Yeah,
like I don't know a ton about it, but like the dude heading that up was just like, we're not fucking around with this thing, and it was like I'd rather have an 03 Cobra than every GT 500 after it up until honestly like 13, 14.
Yeah.
Up until the crazy good ones, the 662 horsepower. Even a 2012, I think.
Yeah.
Honestly, I'd rather, if I couldn't sell either, because they're worth a lot more, I think I'd rather.
I think because
Cobra.
the previous ones are always going to look kind of dated.
Previous what?
Like the 07 to
GT
14.
500.
Yeah.
They are dated, but they also just weren't as good.
Right.
The 1314 was so much better than all the previous ones.
When they went back to the 5-liter?
No, it was just the pinnacle of that design. It was 1314 was right before they went to the current one.
Right, but that's when they switched to the 5-liter because everything else was, right?
Wasn't it? Yeah.
Those are always 5.4s.
Those were different. The GT500 is like a different block, different motor. It was built on like the truck V8.
Yeah.
So it's 5.4, and then 1314 is 5.8.
Yeah.
And it was like plasma coated liners, and like they just pulled out all
the king of the road, you mean?
It was truly the king of the road. I mean, truly, they are. Those are badass cars. I mean, they're still really old school.
Yeah.
Do you know what cars like no one really talks about much anymore? Is the Viper. Like those were badass.
They're neat. They are cool.
I don't know. Every time I see one on the road, I'm just like, fuck, that it looks good still. It sounds amazing.
They don't sound
good. They sound kind of
weird. But like if you see a Viper,
especially a GTS,
there's probably no other car for that cheap that will turn heads. That's probably the most attention you can get for the least is a Viper. Yeah. But apparently they're just miserable to drive.
Well, I think like Gen 2 and up. Like the Gen 1 was probably pretty bad.
All of them I've heard are just kind of lame.
I don't know about the newest new
before
the new ones are fucking sweet.
Yeah,
like, that's a car that just like kind of came and went.
Yeah, the newest new before they totally killed it are supposed to be much improved.
When did they stop making it? Because I swear like
a year or two
last
ago.
year.
Okay, I was like I remember like Dodge commercials, like when the Hellcat came out, like they still had Viper, like they would have like all the models like, rolling down some.
I honestly don't know if
salt
I've ever
flat.
actually like seen a new body Viper just driving around.
I just saw one.
I've
like,
seen them at events and stuff.
I think I saw one like 2 weeks ago driving around town, and I was just like,
they're so much better than the old ones. It's almost a different car.
Yeah,
because they basically reinvented that thing, but it was still just like it's a car that it is a weird market.
It was almost weird because like they made it a V10. Because it was a Viper, but it didn't really need. It like could have had like.
It almost shouldn't have been.
It could have had a Hellcat motor or even a naturally aspirated V8.
Yeah. The newest one, and you can get them. That interior, like they went nuts.
Yeah,
with
they look fucking sweet. Like it
look
still looks
sweet.
like a Viper, but it looks.
Yeah, when I saw it, it was like nighttime, so like all the sweet taillight accents and stuff.
And those new ones sound pretty good.
Yeah,
they tried.
That's
really hard
that's the one I was talking about. Yeah.
Yeah, the old ones.
What are those things like 60, 70?
Probably. They've probably depreciated a bit, but I don't know if they'll ever drop super far.
I think
they're just too good.
I think I'd rather have one of those than almost any C7. Probably.
Yeah, definitely.
I would too. Yeah, those things are very nice.
Yeah,
cars. And if you needed like I mean, it's back to like what it was supposed to be, is just like your fifth car or whatever, you know, like you're just your crazy car, because you're not even gonna like road trip that thing.
No,
really, a Viper, maybe a new one because they put so much work into it. But even that, it's like that is a car you go maybe a mountain drive, maybe.
Yeah.
I mean, an old one, you'll probably kill yourself.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just like they're just that bad.
Yeah.
Some cars have like a weird reputation when they're new, and then as they age, people are like, dude, they weren't that bad. You know, it's like, calm down. Yeah. Like S2000 was kind of like that.
You're going to flip that thing around.
It's like, yeah, or like MR2 Turbo. It's like, you're going to like snap oversteer.
I mean,
it's like,
any car that you drive like that fucking hard, it's going to like...
Yeah, some of them just have weird
a Fox body will do the same
10
damn
tenths. Yeah, but it's like some cars. But like Vipers, it's like, nah, they were vicious. They were just vicious.
They have really wide tires and they don't get very good traction.
Crazy tires, like... peak torque at like
the Viper was a car that had like
RPM.
Too much tire and not enough at the same time. Like, so
it's like that thing could have used a steamroller setup. I mean, it was just everything. It's just everything all at once. And they're cool because of that, but it's like they're still cheap, and they probably will remain cheap.
Yeah,
it's like,
it wouldn't be a good track car. It'd be a good car just to like.
It's a good
pull it out every once in a while.
Yeah, if you want a car to pull out and just fucking have people break their necks,
that fucking like
it's like Viper.
That blue and white like
GTS
that
coupe. Classic.
Yeah,
that thing still
red.
looks.
I mean, it's like that looks as exotic as anything.
I remember like building model, like the model car,
and of course
as a
there's
kid.
The TV show Viper.
Oh, that's right.
Mm-hmm.
I totally remember that now. Yeah, like it had like 3 episodes before it was canceled or something.
Please let this catch
It was
on.
like fucking peak 90s.
Yeah. The Viper itself was just peak 90s.
Yeah.
But yeah. Those cars just aren't good. It's like they're just bad. Badass.
Yeah.
Bad as in bad.
There's a lot of cars that people love to like kind of jerk off about, like the Viper, like we just did.
Yeah.
But like you wouldn't want to own, but you want other people to own. Like
I'd want one.
I mean, I would want one if it was given to me.
Or no, I think it's like if you're like in this position to buy like 50 cars, like I'd buy a
Yeah, it'd be in my
Viper.
dream garage.
Yeah.
I wouldn't kick any of my cars out of my
It would
current
occupy
setup.
spot 27.
If I had an airplane hangar,
Right.
yeah, sure. If I'm just checking boxes. But like you want someone else to own it and bring it to a car show and like punch it aggressively, leaving.
And maybe lose control.
And maybe do something real dumb.
Speaking of that, already.
Go.
Oh,
Just go.
Okay, that's the like Mustang. You remember like a year or two ago?
Yes.
On all the like Cars and Coffee Mustang crash
Oh
Yeah.
videos.
The wave.
And they were funny. I mean, like it was entertaining.
They had their moment.
But from what I've seen, like whether it's social media or like a blog, a Jalopnik.
Anytime you mention a Mustang.
Anytime a Mustang is mentioned in any fucking
Yeah.
form, it's like the 2019 Mustang is getting refreshed and has a whatever. And
Watch out, pedestrians.
There's always some goes, oh, does it have something that blah, 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 pedestrians?
Yeah, is it a pedestrian slam mode?
Yeah,
or
it's
whatever?
like, okay, we fucking get it.
Yeah,
Like,
we get it, dude.
Yeah, I don't know.
Fucking
So if you're the kind that makes those comments,
stop it.
just
You better stop.
you better quit.
It's not funny anymore.
I own them, but no. I'm just, I don't know.
Yeah, it's pretty played out.
It's like, okay, we get it. Like every time I say, I'm just like scroll past, like say
it's
something
always
interesting
gonna
or
be there.
actually funny.
Well, I'm personally like, not really anymore, whatever, but we were a little bit bitter because like right before that became funny, a joke. It was a very recent joke.
Like a very like wide reaching, not just like a
it's
niche.
like it's a meme now.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
Mustang spinning into crowds. It's pretty recent. And like right before that caught on, we were talking about making a video about car show etiquette.
right.
Remember, it was like how to behave at a car show, and the jokes were like crank your stereo, whatever.
Always make sure you roll in with your buddies.
Yeah, it's like roll in with your crew.
Don't roll in alone.
It was like rules to attending a car show, and like number 1 was going to be stay in it.
Yeah.
And it was like
when you're leaving, like put on a show.
yeah, it was like put on a show and like no matter what, stay in it.
Yeah.
And we're gonna use all these clips of people losing it, and it was like he didn't stay in it, like he lifted like a little bitch, and look what happened. And like it was funny because it is funny because it was a good joke, and then that happened, and we're like, shit, like we can't make that joke now because it's just
gonna
in
look
the
super
pile.
lame. Yeah.
But it was like, we should have just done that. We tossed that video around. I was like, oh yeah, we need to do it.
Yeah.
Because there was endless source material for people losing it, leaving a car show. And it was like,
Not just in Mustangs.
not just in
fucking
Mustangs.
anything,
Yeah, that was the thing.
What
It
was the
just like,
vid- yeah, and then-
stay in it. And now it's like, damn, we missed it.
There's
Because,
that
like,
video
ship sailed.
of like, people just leaving car shows, but then there was the old guy in the Miata and he like
man.
went like 4 times and you're just like
Let me tell you a story about the greatest video on YouTube. Link in the description.
Yeah,
find
we'll
this
have to
thing.
find it, yeah.
Because
We'll
the video.
We'll probably run some clips.
No,
I think they
watch
they-
it.
yeah, they- the
Just
whole
watch it
thing's
in its
golden.
entirety, start to finish. It's one of the best videos on the fucking internet, dude. Because
Yeah.
it's like, for whatever reason, I was watching it, which is like sad to say.
it's like 11 minutes long or
Yeah,
something stupid.
and it's just
Yeah.
like cars leaving the Chattanooga Cars and Coffee. It's titled like whatever. But there's this dude who comes through and it's like Challenger, Ram truck.
Yeah.
You know, just
Mustang,
generally
yeah.
lame.
and every single one of them
cars
just like rips out of the
punching
parking
it.
lot.
And I was watching it at like 11. And like, you should really go to bed. You should really go to bed.
You've
And you're
seen
not.
enough.
And you're
Yeah.
just like on YouTube. And you're just like, like chips, Dorito dust on you. And just like, why am I still up? And so that was the scene, and I'm watching this video, and then it's like in the middle of it is this dude in this Miata, and he like it's like Miata, what the hell? And he like punches it, and he's like getting squirrely.
Some like 60-year-old guy.
Some old guy, and it's like, that was funny or whatever. And it's like more cars, and then the guy in the Miata comes through again.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, it's that Miata again, and he like punches it. He's like, hey,
even harder.
Yeah, it goes even harder. Yeah, and it's just some like.
And it's also funny because it's a Miata, so it's like slow. So the guy,
It's
the guy's
not
like-
impressive.
Well, I mean,
so he's really trying.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's impressive in what he's doing, but like everyone else is gonna like, I'm gonna blip the throttle a little
Yeah,
bit.
I'm gonna like kind of get into it.
And this guy's like,
first.
I'm gonna fucking launch.
dump it
I'm
for
gonna
like
He's like,
4,000,
I'm gonna
yeah.
dump the clutch in water and crank the wheel.
Yeah, throw some bleach down. It's like it's a Miata, so it's not easy. And so he goes through again. It's like, oh, that's funny. It's that same old guy, and he comes through like 5
Yeah.
times. He keeps coming around, and it's like, wait a minute. Why isn't the title of this video just like
Weird Miata.
super weird old guy in Miata desperate for attention? Because he comes through and he's like talking to the cameraman.
Yeah.
And he like almost loses it. And they're just like, yeah, do it. It's cool.
Yeah.
And she's like engaging him. It's fucking amazing.
It's great.
And it's like,
It's a great human study.
yeah, it's so hidden though, because the video is just like, yeah, here's
Burnouts.
and it's super
burnouts.
long. Like you like
You
anyone
wouldn't know.
scrubbing through is not going to see it.
You wouldn't know.
I'm gonna
And
have to
it's
go
like,
through and cut that.
Yeah, it's like, no, you gotta watch the whole thing. But then all the comments are just like, legend says he's still there doing burnouts. It's like, how are you gonna comment on anything but that weird old guy in
Yeah.
Miata that was like way out of place, who came through 5 fucking times? And he's like,
Fucking got after.
it was weird.
That's the
man.
only time I thought a Miata was cool.
It was weird. Yeah, in that moment, Miatas were cool.
Are we gonna?
Yeah,
So,
speaking of Miatas,
Yes.
I bought a Miata about
bought a Miata.
2 weeks ago.
First of all,
How this which
what number is this?
Miata?
yeah,
Probably
3,
No.
4.
I think I bought my first one in like 05.
Okay.
This is probably like the 5th or something.
Jesus,
Fifth Miata.
No,
Why-
the
Why did you
revolving
buy it?
door of Miatas. Yeah,
I wasn't actually looking. I had that Datsun 1200, which I sold because it was just too much work. I mean, it was cool, but I was like, man, I'm not going to have time to give this car the attention that it needs.
we had motor swapped it.
Yeah, we
got it running.
I mean, not swapped, just replaced.
Replaced.
Got it running, and
Yeah.
I was like, this car needs so much. And it's not a car that you can just go buy shit for.
Right.
Not a casual project.
No, and I was like, I don't have time to deal with this. So I was like, all right, I'll sell it, and then like
Yeah.
maybe I'll get something else that needs a little less attention that I can just tinker around with.
Yeah.
And I wasn't looking for a Miata until I saw, as I'm apt to do, just looking at Craigslist, and I saw this 99 NB, and it was like original owner, 90,000 miles, hard top. I mean, like garaged, super fucking nice. And the price was like really low, and I was like, God damn it.
Time to get another Miata.
So I called the guy and went and looked at it. I was like, shit, this thing's a good deal. So I bought it. And that's as far as it's going.
Yeah,
That's the story.
Well, I mean, I bought it because I knew I couldn't lose money on it. So if I decide I don't want it,
I think when you decide you don't want it, because you'll
inevitably.
inevitably.
Yeah, I mean,
2 months from now.
I'm not sure if I want to keep it or not.
Yeah.
But anyways,
Yeah.
McCoy and I just aren't fans of
and I told him
Miatas.
that.
Well, like, I
mean,
don't care.
I said him.
It's like,
I mean, I told him
whatever.
about it in the
Yeah, the group chat
text.
was like, the Miata, like, maybe I should go this route with
Yeah.
it. And I was like, dude, I'm just going to tell you.
Yeah.
Like, I'm just going to be honest. John and I don't give a fuck about this Miata. Like, because
This is coming from
whatever.
This,
Like, we
this is
just
coming
don't
from the guy
care.
that constantly talks about how awesome his '99
yeah, like,
Forerunner is.
every other day I'm like, Forerunner, fuck. Like, I just like went on a road trip and it was fun. And it was like, I just can't take this. I just can't listen to this car that you didn't even want.
Yeah, you just came across it.
Bought accidentally.
Yeah, just like
Just like, I don't know. I just can't. Like, I'm
and like,
sorry.
what are you gonna do to it? It's like, oh, it's gonna sit in your garage for 3 months. We
Yeah,
might make a
maybe
video
2
with it
magically?
and then you'll be like, I'm gonna sell
I
it.
wonder what's gonna happen. It's just like, I just can't do this.
Like I mean, I can understand everyone like, oh, it handles great,
They're fine
balance, whatever.
cars,
I mean, I don't
whatever.
know. They're just not fun to me.
Yeah, I mean, I was like, whatever. The last one you had, 8 months ago?
Yeah.
Was fine. It's just like, what are you gonna do with it? I don't know. So it's like, I think that car made me. That was like the nail in the coffin.
Yeah.
Like, I'm done with Miatas. Brand new ones, no.
Yeah.
Hold on.
Well, the thing about Miatas is I don't really think a new one is that much different than an old one.
Yeah, that's a car that like
It's better, but it's not. It's
better
this-
because it's new. I mean, I guess they're a little faster and whatever.
Yeah.
But like the vision and essence of that car
never changed.
There's probably nothing else that has stayed that pure,
I don't think so.
honestly, that has deviated so little. And when even the cars that are kind of true, like maybe WRX, kind of. Like there's some stuff, but that one, WRX is true just because they literally haven't changed it.
Yeah.
Like that one is
they
like,
just don't care.
that one's accidentally still true to its roots,
Right.
just out of pure fucking laziness and lack of R&D dollars. But the Miata has gone through like motor changes,
Yeah.
and even when it kind of
It's gone
started
through
to deviate,
three completely different platforms.
yeah, it like kind of started to change, and they brought it back.
Yeah.
It was like, oops, it's getting too heavy,
Yeah.
and they like fixed it.
Yeah, let's
It's
do
like,
a bunch of shit.
Damn, they kept it in line. And so it's like, if you were a fan of the original, you're gonna totally love this
Right.
new one. It's not like, nah, you gotta. And I kind of think that's part of why they kind of go up in value. Like, I feel like Miatas don't. Like, I get
They
why.
just kind of hover around like the
well,
same
like the
price.
really low mileage, really old ones,
Yeah.
do command a premium.
Yeah.
But it's like,
But it's also because there's a shitload of them. So they sold like 1 million.
yeah,
I mean, they
but it's
sold-
like, I feel like that's a car that's never gonna be.
But in a way, that makes it cool because you don't have to fucking like. Oh,
It's
this
cool.
is the, like,
It is. It's one of the few automotive experiences where it's like, hey, if you want it, go get in there.
Right.
Like it's there, and it's like it's everything it used to be. It still is. You can get an old one or you can get a new one.
And there's,
like,
I mean, I guess like
whatever.
people like constantly talk about them, but they're not like talking about it to raise the like. I hope mine goes up in value. It's not like
it's like one of the purest
yeah.
enthusiast automotive
It's kind of like
experiences you
it's
can
kind
have.
of like how people talk about air cooled 911s, but
Yeah.
they're just an eighth the price or something.
Yeah.
I mean, just the same like until you drew one,
Yeah.
which they're
They're
fun. They're not good. I mean, they're good, but they're not like wow, this is great. Like
I just see it. It's the same thing that we said about like the Acura Type R, Integra Type R. You know, it's like you have to drive the shit out of it for it to be any fun at all. Which I guess,
but that's part of the fun because you can't even really do that in most. Cars.
Miata is redeeming.
And it's a fucking convertible,
It's a
which, some,
very-
which some people hate.
well, I also don't fit in one. Maybe a newer
Yeah,
one.
but
But
all of us are pretty tall. Like if we were all
yeah, but it's
5'2".
I mean, it depends on like your proportions. But yeah, I when we were making the Chad video, like I just like my knees were into the dash.
Yeah, I mean, there's things you can do to
Your
fucking
knees were in the day.
Yeah.
You were uncomfortable.
yeah.
Still have bruises. Yeah, they're cool. Every time I've driven, it's like, yeah, this is neat. And it's like,
Yeah.
oh, what does it cost? Oh, $3,000. Like, yeah, you know, it'd be like one of those cars where it's like, this is 20, or like if an old one, if
Yeah.
the old ones were expensive, I would
Right.
hate them.
Yeah.
But since they're not, it's like, yeah, great. Like, go get one if you like.
Yeah,
one.
and the other thing I like about
Don't
them,
fucking tell me about it.
Yeah.
Just don't say anything in the group chat.
ever. But the other thing that's kind of weird is like it has like the most like kind. I mean, well, I guess it's sort of changed recently. Like the most like kind ownership base.
Yeah, they're all pretty just
Like
good,
there's a lot of cars like
people.
there's a lot of cars like the one I bought where it's just like this was my like I bought it new and I took care of it.
It's like the Miata buyer is just like looking for a fun car.
Yeah,
You know, they're not trying to like
They're just here
show their
for-
wealth.
yeah.
It's not a Porsche.
Because they're not wealthy usually.
Well, I don't know.
I mean,
bet some of them, maybe they're not wealthy,
Right.
but it's like
it's not a car you buy to show.
it's a second or third car. No
Yeah.
one's buying that for a first car. Like you're usually in a pretty good position
Yeah.
if you buy one of those new, I would guess.
Right.
But it's just like they keep them and they enjoy them,
Yeah.
and it's like what
It's
they
just
want.
weird just like looking at Civics or like how almost everyone, it's like it just fell into the hands of someone who fucking like
Eventually, it's gonna
it gets to its like fourth or fifth owner, and like by that point, it's gone. Like
some case it's like the 18th owner.
yeah.
Half of like and it would salvage title.
I mean, I guess
the 12th owner.
there is a lot of shit in Miata, especially lately.
Yeah, there's some beat ones.
Yeah.
They're kind of becoming
Well,
stancy.
Yeah, I think it was probably
That's a little dangerous.
10 years ago or a little less when like people like discovered them.
Yeah,
It's like, oh yeah, you
could
can
be cool,
you could like dump this
quirky.
shit. Yeah,
Dump the shit out of it.
but I think like there's so many of them that you can
There's still
you
a
can
lot.
still find like a nice one.
I don't think it will ever. The crowd that is ruining them will not be substantial enough to ruin them completely.
They'll move on to something else.
Yeah, like the Honda crowd
Yeah.
is still. It's like a cancer that is still eating old Hondas
still going strong
because they won't die. Yeah, it's just still.
Yeah,
There's a point, I think, it's crazy. There's a point where a Honda cannot get shittier. You know,
it's a
just
very
like,
low.
Yeah.
it's just so beat up and sad.
You're talking about modded ones. Not
Yeah,
just,
modded
not
ones.
just like a car that's been used a lot.
No, like what,
The,
you know,
the
it'll.
body's fully primered.
It's just like a '98 Civic that has just been
Yeah.
passed on, and it's like
Each owner progressively like has less money.
less and less money, but they
Yeah.
just won't. There's a certain point where it's just like this thing's such a piece of shit that it's like you can only improve it really
Yeah.
from here. It's like salvage title, 12 owner,
Yeah.
3 different motor swaps, still a shitty motor, mind you, like a D series with like a slightly more aggressive single cam head. It's just murdered car, and
Like,
they're just
I got
still going.
I got a 2-puck clutch.
I got a 98 with an O2
They're
front.
just still going. Those cars just won't die.
Yeah.
They just won't die. It's like the cockroach.
We were also talking about those, how like those will probably also never go up. Like the regular ones won't.
Yeah.
Even a nice one, just because there's so many of them.
Well, they're just not. It's like a Miata from the factory was supposed to be a fun, enjoyable car.
Right.
A Civic was not.
Yeah.
It was just supposed to get you to work without like anyone noticing.
yeah.
You know, and you like, it's like, yeah, it's just the car you drive
Yeah.
where you go work at like your whatever
Get good gas mileage.
management job at like Intel until you blow your brains out one day. I mean, it's just like it's just
In the
like
Miata and then
the most basic
Civic.
car. And so to own that stock, like I think a stock 90s Civic hatchback clean
Yeah.
will be worth something. It
little
will
bit.
always be worth something.
Yeah.
Not a ton.
Right.
But like if you ever 10 or 20 years from now when people like revisit the tuner bug phase, because that's totally going to happen.
Oh, yeah.
It already kind of is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like the wave of people who are still doing it is clashing with
still
the
there.
wave who are doing it nostalgically.
Yeah, but the problem is the people that are still doing it are like really like that's
Extremely poor. But it's like that car, like why would you ever want to keep that? Like, oh, I finally got my hands on like a 94 Civic hatch. This is the one I'm going to keep. It's
Yeah.
like, that's not an enjoyable
and especially
ownership
because like
experience.
the coolness of those things was all built on modifying.
You have to modify it for it to be anything.
Like no one wanted
So
it.
it's this weird catch-22.
I like it better when it's on its stock 175.
Yeah, exactly.
13s.
Like who's ever? It's just like this weird limbo phase.
Yeah.
where it's like,
But Supras are kind of like that too. Like,
are they?
well, I mean, like so much of the legend of the Supra is like, oh yeah, like 1,000 horsepower.
That's true. It's
Single
only a
tunnel.
modded
But at
one.
least it's a performance car from the start.
Yeah, but
but no one wants
But
it
stock,
stock.
it's kind of a. I mean,
They're kind of whatever.
well, I mean, everyone wants them stock now, but
so that
like,
they can mod them.
But the people
No,
who hype up
no, so
Supras
also they
haven't
can
even
sit-
driven one, most likely.
Yeah, probably not. That's probably.
See,
But I
it's
mean,
like
but I mean,
I
like
haven't.
a stock
Yeah.
Supra is like a decent.
They're fine, but
yeah.
they're nothing to write home about.
But it's like, oh, dude, that 2JZ,
Yeah.
stock internals, 1,200, like, yeah, okay.
yeah, that is kind of a similar car. That's a similar situation where it's like, would you want to own it stock?
Yeah.
Probably not. You know,
Right.
they're not that fun.
But a stock,
seriously, like-
stock one is still going to be worth the most.
They're gonna be worth the most.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because
Not very many people left them.
you want to mod it.
Yeah,
though.
yeah.
It's like this weird. It's like, oh, finally, I
Right.
got one that hasn't been messed with.
But you're
I can
not.
mod it.
But you're not actually.
But you wouldn't mod it. Yeah, it's just like you're gonna own it because everyone wants it.
Yeah.
Yeah, those cars. It was like I think it was intake, exhaust, and something. There wasn't really a tune in those days.
There's like BPU.
Yeah, BPU on a Supra is like 100 horsepower, and it's like
Sorry, I didn't know.
that's what they were called.
I
right?
know. It was a basic performance upgrade. Okay, you can just.
BPU plus.
People like talked about it as, oh yeah, you know the code APU, BPU.
That was all Supra, huh? That was where that
I mean,
started.
maybe people
BPU
put-
plus plus APU. I'm running an APU Supra. I'm like, fuck, dude. But that aside, why would you own that car and not do that?
Yeah,
It was like a silent car
yeah.
that was like lame, and it got way better when you did those things to it. And it's like now, it's like, how could you not? I wonder if all the ones that are stock were at some point modded.
It's possible.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, what are we at? What's time wise like on this?
We're at 57.
Oh,
Oh,
dang.
whoa! All right, let's
I
go.
did
Let's go
not
ahead
mean
and
to
cut.
do
Let's go
that.
ahead and cut all that Miata stuff
Keep
out.
overshooting.
Yeah. Maybe a little less with the editing. Well, no, maybe a little bit more since I have to add all these fucking images
yeah.
All
and
right.
videos.
Well, sorry. These are getting a little longer. 40 minutes. People are like driving in circles on their commute. Did
Yeah.
you fucking stop talking so I can finish? They're just like taking an hour-long dump.
Almost done.
Circulation's getting cut off. All right. Well,
That was podcast 10.
thanks for listening to this special episode.
Yeah.
Thank you for listening. All that shit I said about only liking the patrons, that's not true. We love all our
Yeah.
fans. You're all great. You're amazing.
They're all equal.
Yeah.
All
you're
those fans probably stopped listening when you
Yeah, they're like, fuck you then. Yeah, sorry. I love everyone. You're all awesome. Thanks for hanging out.
Yeah.
Just putting up with us.
See you next time.
Cool. See you next time.